sure these are sponsors.
Hey, let's start this right.
There we go. That's how you start a podcast. All right, let's crack her. Here we go. Cheers. Cheers, buddy. Cheers to you guys out there watching. Thanks for being here with us. Welcome to We're Doomed Podcast. My name is Brandon McIntosh. I'm your purveyor of all the Doom news out there. Everything from atomic bombs to daisies, right?
Yeah, sure.
Sure. Here with me, as always, Tyler Shaftsma. Thanks for joining us, Tyler.
Thanks for having me, Brandon. As always, happy to be your co-host here in a very special We're Doomed podcast.
That's right.
Tell
us why. Why is it special?
We're broadcasting live into the metaverse for the Stream X Festival. Thank you to our good friend Tyler Morrison for letting us be a part of this, and we're very happy for it. But let's just get into the show, Brandon. Yes. That's not important.
Thank you. Couldn't be better timing for doing a video podcast. Got a new set of spectacles on you.
It's late at night on a Tuesday, and yeah, I got new glasses.
They look pretty sweet. I like them. I don't know, they kind of fit your age. You make you look older, more dignified.
Yeah. What did you say the other day?
Oh, BTK killer. Dennis Rader.
I looked like the BTK killer or the Unabomber.
It was a popular set of glasses. Even serial killers like to wear them.
In the 70s, the bar across the top.
Yeah, so it's not like it's their style.
The BTK killers, that's bind, torture, kill.
That's right.
He ties them up and he tortures them and he kills them.
It kind of sounds like a sandwich when you hear BTK, bacon, tomato, kill.
But he released, that was a Netflix special they had, right?
I think so. Yeah.
I didn't watch that one. But that's cool.
So what's going on with you? How's life treating you?
Life's good. I'm not binding and torturing and killing anyone.
Well, that's good. We'll see. Your glasses are new. We'll see what happens. We'll see how they inspire you.
I think the Unabomber had similar glasses, though. You always say I look inspired by the Unabomber. That one day I might start sending bombs to people. So
yeah, it might be the only way to stop Elon Musk. We talked about this.
I'll send a bomb. I will mail a bomb to Elon Musk tomorrow. I have told you this before. I will put some toilet bowl cleaner in the Pepsi bottle, and I will send it to Elon Musk.
Is that how you kill someone? Toilet bowl cleaner?
Maybe.
Have you been Googling it? They can check your Google.
We used to make bombs in high school with toilet bowl cleaner and tinfoil. You never did that?
No, we've discussed this many times. I did not have a terrorist training camp as a childhood.
I did.
Tyler's ready. Well, anyways, there's a lot to talk about this week. There's a lot going on in the world.
A lot of doom going on?
A lot of doom.
If you're new to the show, that's what we do. We talk about doom every week.
Yeah, and it never ceases to slow down or stop. Only keeps giving us more and more things to talk about. All our topics are merging now. It's wild out there.
I think we're living in the greatest time for fear. And
fear.
And doom.
I don't know. There's some other pretty terrifying eras of our lifetime. I don't know. When Genghis Khan was around. That sounds pretty scary.
He was just raping and pillaging.
Yeah, that might come soon too. I give it 3 months.
You think that at some point there's going to be a guy riding around on a horseback raping villages?
There's probably someone doing it right now.
No.
It's a big world, man. People are into weird shit. Great. Cool. Right into the mic.
I talk and do it.
Yeah, it's fine. My girlfriend does too sometimes. I won't tell her.
Into this microphone?
She gets pink eye, I know.
Your girlfriend uses this microphone?
I'm going to give her this one for now on. Now
I fart into this microphone.
I know you do. We should get you a separate microphone.
My microphone.
We need a separate mic for you.
This is my microphone.
But man,
do you think that's gonna happen? Well, I guess there are serial rapists out there, but
yeah. Are we going back to the glasses here?
Shut up! They're nice glasses.
Yeah.
I need a change.
You're gonna get that change. Now's the time to change. Go do whatever you want to do right now, because time is slim. I said it already. Give it 3 months. I give us 3 months before we descend into complete chaos and civilization.
You're saying by August?
By August, we get most of the summer. It's gonna be
straight chaos. What's happening first?
There's a lot adding up. There's first of all, our food shortage supply.
You keep bringing up this
10
food shortage
weeks.
supply.
They said there's 10 weeks left of wheat left in the world.
I went
which
into
don't
a
believe.
farmer's market today and bought a Jamaican patty from a nice lady. There's no way there's a food shortage coming.
It's just on its way. That's
She
what
warmed
they
it
keep
up in a
saying.
microwave. It was great.
That's fine because they got it in warehouses. They got storage. But like the majority of the world's wheat is locked up in Ukraine, and they say in 10 weeks from now that it's gonna be completely empty. Like we're not gonna have any wheat left. There's gonna be food. Like there's agricultural collapse happening all over the world right now in different places because of heat waves. North America and India.
Yeah. I thought we've weaned off the Ukraine shit. I thought we're done with it.
It's always there, but you want to know why we're collapsing in 3 months. There's also the Ukraine war itself.
Is it still going on?
Still
you don't hear about it
escalating.
as much.
It's still escalating. There's still people saying there's going to
It's
be
not
World War
over.
III every day.
It's not over.
Nope,
The Ukraine war is not over.
it is not over.
Why?
It's over to you because you stopped watching the news.
I quit watching the news. I never watch the news.
No, you're just driving down a country road one day and you just see a handwritten sign that says "Stop Putin" in the middle of nowhere. Have you seen any of those?
Not in the middle of the country. Not on
No?
a gravel road in Norfolk County. I haven't seen a "Stop Putin" sign. You think farmers are caring? They're growing their corn.
I don't know where I was driving. It was somewhere out in the middle of nowhere, and it's just like on a fence post, and like there's like horses and stuff, and it just "Stop Putin."
Oh, that'll do something. That's what's gonna stop him. Here's a fence post. Stop Putin.
But yeah, there's a lot adding up, and now we got to deal with the new hot pandemic that's in town, right?
What's that one?
Monkeypox.
What's that?
Did you have your money on monkeypox?
I got nothing.
Yeah. Well, they have like 100 cases, but they're freaking out as if it's like a big deal.
What is it? It's a new disease?
It is a new disease. I had my money on like a bird flu.
Does
It would
it
be the
come
next
from a
big one.
monkey?
I imagine. I think it comes from like the Congo region in Africa.
Most diseases come from a monkey.
Yeah, they come from where monkeys are from, Congo region, West Africa. So that's why it's so bizarre that this disease that is just from the jungles of West Africa is all of a sudden rampant and going all over the world. It's in 20 different countries right now.
How did it end up here?
I don't know. There's a case in Toronto, apparently. According to...
That's called monkey pox.
Monkeypox.
Like smallpox, but
like
for
smallpox.
monkeys.
It's not lethal quite like smallpox is, I guess, but it does cause some harm and it causes lesions. So you got like things popping up all over you, and it looks pretty nasty. And he said for the most part, it's from very close contact. So
With a
mostly
monkey?
with monkeys and people who mess with the monkeys, and then people mess with the people.
What do you mean when you say mess with? What do you mean? You mean fuck?
I think people are fucking monkeys, and you think people.
That's
would
the
learn by
rumor.
now.
That's the old AIDS rumor, right?
What?
That's the old AIDS rumor.
The AIDS rumor, yeah.
That's
that
how
someone
AIDS started.
Had sex with a monkey,
Someone had
which
sex with a monkey.
I don't think they've ever proven was ever true. I think that's just a theory
not-
that happened. But
I'm
no,
just saying it's a rumor.
But they're saying this monkeypox, wherever it came from, they're thinking it stemmed from a rave in Europe.
A rave?
That's what the WHO is saying.
So there's a bunch of people just on fucking Molly, just jumping up and down, and then somebody brought a fucking chimp to the fucking party.
What is this, the 80s? Where's the animal activists here?
Well, yeah, there's a bunch of chimps at parties in the 80s. That's how AIDS started.
Europe, there's people traveling from all over, right? It could be a big famous rave. People could be coming from West Africa who might have come in contact with that, but who knows? And they're raising the alarm to so close sexual contact. It could be the spreader of
this. Just sounds like AIDS. Everything you're saying sounds like AIDS.
And they're even coming out saying
you're gonna be there's a famous basketball player that has this.
And they're even coming out saying this is not it has nothing to do. This is not a gay disease, right? This is just people having sex with people is gonna. No,
if there's gonna be a new AIDS, they're gonna make sure it's not about homos. They're gonna let homosexuals be a part of it.
That's why
this is a new AIDS. This is monkeypox. It's a new AIDS. That's gonna be the slogan.
But the thing is, it's bizarre that it just kind of came out of nowhere.
New AIDS.
But do you remember a story?
Like new Coke.
I don't. Yeah. let's stop talking about AIDS. But let's talk
It's
about...
hard not to when you're talking about fucking monkeys.
All right, so monkeys are, they carry around disease. And we experiment on a lot of monkeys as well for disease, right?
Yes.
And do you remember a story not too long ago? It was in the States. A truck crashed full of experimental monkeys. And some lady went to help. She thought it was a cat and ended up getting bit by a monkey. Sounds like the plot of a movie. I'm pretty sure it is the plot of a movie.
Yeah.
But
every Planet of the Apes.
What happened to that story? Where did these monkeys go? Did they catch the monkeys?
Well,
what if this caused monkeypox?
Monkeys are very close to humans, right?
Yeah.
We've established that. We know that. But they also carry a lot of disease.
Yeah.
But if they bite you, if they fuck you,
you become monkey man.
Even if we always turn to people fucking monkeys, but what if it's monkeys fucking people?
There, you got a point there. It might take a few. They might have to gang rape you there, just pin you down on the ground.
It's a bunch of primate gang rape.
Yeah, monkeys are strong. Chimps are strong. It's totally possible. It's just
a gorilla would fuck you. Like a gorilla. A gorilla.
Now we're getting aggressive here.
Fuck you.
Why can't there be consensual monkey and human that just are deeply in love?
I think it becomes bestiality.
And they just want it. They both want it.
It's bestiality.
It sure is. Just let it happen. Now we have monkeypox. Is this the new pandemic? I don't know. They're treating it like it. You're not watching the news.
Well, AIDS was a pandemic. I know you told me to stop talking about AIDS, but you can't.
Now they're locking down. I think there's lockdowns in parts of Europe now already over a handful of cases over monkeypox, putting people in quarantine for 3 weeks. People that have monkeypox.
So do you think they're gonna adapt the COVID model to monkeypox?
It's very possible.
Because now we have, the thing with COVID is now we have a model for what to do during a pandemic.
It's terrible. It's a terrible model.
It's a terrible model. Let's lock it all down. Let's get everyone vaccinated.
Yeah. We've learned so much.
We've learned so much, but so little at the same time.
It'd be a shame to see the same thing happen, but different disease, though. Yeah, you might have to treat it differently.
Yeah, we can't do that every time there's a little fucking cold floating through the air.
No.
A little monkey cold.
Just gotta deal with the monkey colds.
Are you afraid of this? Are you gonna get it?
I'm not that afraid. I don't see the alarms going off. I don't understand it. It's like a handful of people had sex in a rave. Mm-hmm. They got a weird African disease that doesn't really kill people.
Okay, is there anyone having sex at a rave that's not getting a disease? If you made it through the late 90s, early 2000s with going to a rave, having a bunch of unprotected sex and not getting a disease, you're lucky. Go buy a lottery ticket.
But anyways, let's talk about some local disasters here. We just had the long weekend here. It was a good time.
Here in Canada, Victoria Day weekend.
Yep, Victoria Day weekend. We were having a good time. We were separate, but we had separate good times. But
yeah, I didn't see you much.
I was out here on the patio, and skies started looking a little rough, so I'm like, we should probably step inside.
Saturday, there was a big storm that came through.
Yeah, as soon as we did, though, just holy fuck. Everything went nuts. And I'm kind of tucked away. There's buildings, so we didn't get the brunt of the wind, but I had no idea till later. You start looking at pictures, it looks like tornadoes, but what do they call it? It's like the Dorego. The Dorego.
What the fuck is that?
Dorego.
What the fuck is that?
That's what it was. It's basically a wall of wind.
Dorego.
It was a wall of wind, literally 100 kilometers long. 100 kilometers long.
Is this new? I've never heard of it.
I've never heard of it either.
So it wasn't a tornado.
They're starting to report there was some tornadoes.
There was tornadoes and 5 people died over the weekend.
But it wasn't the tornadoes. It was a Dorego.
Do you have to say it like that? Is it Mexican?
I don't know, but it just sounds like you have to say it like that. Dorego. It's an intense thing. But no, the wind killed a bunch of people.
It dropped trees on people. A lot of people. The deaths were all because trees fell on cars and stuff.
Trees are so nice.
I saw a bunch of uprooted trees, even here in London, Ontario, on Huron Street. I was in Burford the other day. There was uprooted trees.
Everywhere, man.
Yeah.
You know why?
Because
the Dorego.
The Dorego. So that's not a tornado. It's just a wall of wind.
But it's strong enough.
Of wind.
It was strong enough of wind to cause some small tornadoes, most likely. But that's what it was. It was a wall of wind.
I watched the sky, and it was like a black cloud moving into like a gray cloud, and like it came so fast,
Yeah.
like a tornado.
That's why I wanted to step inside. I'm like, that's a really quick cloud.
Call up Bill Paxton, man.
Yep.
Call Bill Paxton and Helen Hunt.
But it just, imagine being crushed by a tree. That's how you die. Every day you're like, these trees are so peaceful and nice. They stay in one place. They sway back and forth with the wind. And then one day it kills you.
We live on a planet. We say it all the time on this podcast. We live on a planet. We're not in control. Wind can pick up, and trees are heavy. You know how heavy a tree is?
Yeah.
A big tree.
Heavy enough to kill you.
Heavy enough to kill you. Drop that on your car, you're dead. You're dead, Brandon. I'm going to survive.
So, is this going to be a regular thing here? What did you eat? You're pumping them out.
I had tacos.
Yeah.
It's going to be that kind of show.
So scientists, or the meteorologists didn't predict this coming. They knew storms were coming, but it wasn't until like he crossed the Great Lakes, like from Chicago into Ontario, they said that it just took form and just created this wall.
There's a wall.
It's like, is this what we're going to be dealing with from now on? Is these crazy, like, apparently this is going to be one of the strongest hurricane seasons we've seen in a long time.
And you've said it before, like you say all the time, we have 5-6 years to live or whatever. And the weather is the main reason we're gonna die, right?
Mostly,
like
just nature in general, in many forms, is going to
nature
make life very
hurricanes,
difficult.
Tornadoes, tornadoes.
So yeah, the weather's a big factor. The heat's a big factor. You know what's going on in India right now? They can't even work.
I don't. What's going on in India?
They're getting temperatures they can't even deal with. They can't go out during the day.
It's too hot.
It's too hot. Too much for the human body to handle.
It's burn. You walk outside and you burn.
Yeah, animals are dying. All their crops are dying.
Like we live on the one planet that's in the good place where we don't die, but we're gonna be out of that soon.
And the crazy, they were predicting this.
We're gonna all die.
Yeah,
we're gonna die because of weather.
Not necessarily all die. Some of us might.
Most of
killed by trees or heat stroke or there's
water.
Lots of different reasons. Yeah, water
floods.
Poisoning us because there's
floods.
I guess floods too.
Yeah.
So yeah.
No, even like I sat in my garage and I watched that storm come through, and I was happy because I had a bunch of bird shit on my car. So I was like, it's cleaning the bird shit off my car.
The Rego car wash.
The Rego car wash. But then all of a sudden, like leaves and sticks and tree branches started falling. I was like, oh, something might crush my car.
Yeah, maybe it starts hailing. You can get like a nice rum and coke and go out there and just get some ice cubes.
I think the best rum and coke, rye and ginger, whatever you're drinking, if you can put a natural hailstorm ice cube in there,
that'd be pretty cool.
It's pretty nice.
That would make you pretty cool.
It's nice.
But man, let us know next time. They did tell people to seek shelter. They sent out like an alarm. It wasn't a tornado.
I don't think they thought it was. I don't think they thought it was going to be as bad as it was, and it came in really quick. And then, like I drove down Huron Street in London, Ontario today, and there was like uprooted trees all over the place. There's branches down. People are still fucked up.
Yeah.
But like, trees are just these structures that are out there.
They're living beings.
They're living, but like also wind can break them and throw them.
Yeah, this has been Nature with Tyler Chapsman.
Dumb it down for you.
Teaching us
Here
about
to dumb it down for you.
Yeah.
It's easy. There's big things out there. They might fall on you. Be careful.
All right. Is this like a lesson for pigs or something? I don't know.
It's for everybody. Everybody should be ready.
It's true. There's not enough people ready.
Life's hard. Get a helmet.
Good advice. Good advice. Let's shift gears here. Let's talk about an old goof. We all remember George W. Bush.
Vaguely.
Yeah, he was the president.
I do remember George W. Bush
for two terms.
It was the first in our generation, because we're in our 30s, our early 30s. George W. Bush was the first president to hate. Right?
I think no. Bill Clinton got a fair amount of hate.
You like blowjobs.
I think somewhere halfway between his term, the hate started settling in. But it definitely was George W. Bush.
He was the first one, like, I know George W. Bush because of fucking the Rock Against Bush fucking Fat Records albums. Cause
great albums.
We hate this guy. Get him out of here. You know, it was like punk rock. Punk rock stood up against him. There's no punk rock against Clinton. Reagan, like Ronald Reagan, but that was before our time.
Yeah.
Was the last, like, punk rock, let's hate a president. George W. Bush was another punk rock, we hate the president guy.
Yeah, so we learned politics from our favorite punk bands.
From punk bands when you're 14.
They made
effects.
Yeah, music videos made us angry. Yeah, Rage Against Machine videos.
Yeah,
I remember I'm like, I don't understand this, but fuck the system.
I had an anti-flag hoodie in high school with George W. Bush's face upside down on the back of it. Like, I don't know what that means.
But he's
picture of the fucking Twin Towers going down. I had a hoodie with a picture of the Twin Towers going down. Anti-flag.
Yeah. And that's how we were edgy in school. Yeah. Had a Dead Kennedy shirt, Kill the Poor.
Yeah, Kill the Poor.
I got in trouble for wearing it.
But
that's why I bought it.
Yeah, exactly. But like, that was the first president to hate, and really all that hate
and laugh at. Go back and watch a compilation of that bumbling idiot.
But like, he was the president when 9/11 happened.
Yeah, a lot of pressure.
a little bit.
And like, a lot of people probably say the wrong guy. He's. If you haven't figured it out by now, presidents are just puppets. They're just being told what to do.
Anyone running a you're running a country, you're running a company. You're
there's a lot more people involved running the whole country, and the president's just there to be like, all right, folks, let's just stay calm.
That's a Clinton.
Everything's gonna be all right.
That's more of a Clinton impression.
Is it? I didn't think it was anybody. I didn't think it was any president. Because it's President Matthew McConaughey.
I did not have sexual relations with that woman.
I think that was also Matthew McConaughey. We're channeling Matt. We're channeling McConaughey somehow.
McConaughey should probably be he should play a president in a movie.
Pretty sure he wants to be a governor of Texas, which, go for it.
Vote for him. If you're in Texas, vote for Matthew McConaughey.
Better than what's going on there now. But no, President Bush, he's in the news. He was in the news twice this week.
He's not dead?
He's not. No.
Is Bush Sr. dead?
Bush Sr.'s, I'm pretty sure, is dead.
We have no idea.
I think he is. Last time I saw him, he looked dead, so I think he's dead.
But George Jr. is
George
not dead.
Jr., he's...
George Jr.
He's taken up painting. Do you remember that years ago?
Mm-hmm.
He's like painting. There's a gallery with all of his paintings. I'm like... However you deal with your war crimes, I guess. Painting.
Therapy.
Nice therapy, hobbies.
It worked out well for Jim Carrey.
But anyways, he was on TV talking about the atrocities in the Ukraine and Putin, how horrible Putin is, and how he can't, he's condemning him for this just horrible, terrifying, destructive war in Iraq. He said, instead of Ukraine. That was
his war.
That was a slip. It was a
Freudian
Freudian
slip. War, what he knows, what George Bush knows, is the war in Iraq.
Which he knew he probably fucked up. So it was such it was such a perfect slip. It was like in some dark comedy movie, right?
Yeah.
Him describing the Ukraine war and switching it with Iraq.
It's like a lesson
by accident. And even his timing right after, he's like, "Oh," he's like, "I mean Ukraine," and just just trying to win himself over. He's like, "Oh, cool."
Put a cowboy hat on.
Normally, dumb chuckles he does.
Mm-hmm.
But then I read this one. I guess the FBI recently foiled a plot to assassinate him. I guess there's some people want some revenge for George Bush and his war crimes. And
still, eh?
Yeah. Still.
This is current.
This is current. This happened recently.
People are after. They've got a hit on them.
Yeah, there's a few main characters involved. They set up this plot over WhatsApp, which is a stupid idea. Of course, you're gonna get caught. WhatsApp. I don't even. Do you use WhatsApp?
I have no idea what that is.
Terrorists use it. Don't use it.
It's a terrorist app.
I don't know. It's I think Facebook owns it, but they also own Messenger.
Terrorist Instagram. They own Instagram too.
either way, they got caught. But I feel like, do you remember when they someone threw shoes at President Bush years ago?
No.
That definitely wasn't an assassination attempt, but he was talking to a bunch of journalists, and it was a very angry Iraqi man took off his shoes and hurled them at George Bush during the meeting.
So somebody from Iraq threw their shoes.
Yeah. And now there's literally there's a statue of the shoe outside of the building where that happened because it was so famous, because it's just like, fuck that guy.
So long and thanks for all the shoes.
But they're trying to take him out.
If you're a president and the worst hit on your life is shoes, like there's other presidents like Kennedy's were shot.
But yeah, they were trying to they were setting up deals for firearms and like fake law enforcement get-ups and
What
stuff.
What do you think is the day-to-day life of George Bush Jr. now? Like, he's a senior.
Yeah.
He's an old man. What's his day like? He wakes up.
Oh, gets up. He pets his golden retrievers. He has a nice country breakfast.
Big bowl of Cheerios.
Yep. Takes a little ride around on his four-wheeler. Starts painting in the afternoon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not much to worry about.
Yep.
Someone throwing shoes at you is the least of your worries.
Yep. Takes his drugs to suppress all the trauma from all the war crimes he's done.
Oh, he's probably heavily medicated. Lots of Valium.
But, it's... You see him now, he just seems like an old, goofy guy, but you can't forget what he started. Him and his fucking cronies. It's not just him. There's Dick Cheney. He's probably the main ringleader for the whole thing.
But that's like, we're looking, that's like 20 years ago now.
Yeah.
But there's still spillover of that, and people still think 9/11 was an inside job and everything.
Yeah, no matter what kind of job it was, that was the major shift in the world.
And he was in office when that happened.
And now we're going through the second major shift in the world, is the pandemic.
Yeah, you think this is a shift?
It's probably Trump 9/11, definitely. 9/11's an American thing, right? Sure.
Have we forgotten about Trump?
Have we forgotten about Trump?
Is he done? We forgot about him?
I don't know. Elon Musk wants to bring him back on Twitter.
Really?
Yeah. Why not? He's entertaining.
Is that part of like Elon Muskie's
free speech thing? He wants to bring a lot of people back.
Trumpy's back?
Trumpy's back.
Who else is back?
They think he's starting to... He wants to create a revolution, Trump, right now. They're afraid to bring him back.
So what do you think Trump's day-to-day life is like every day? He wakes up, bangs a hooker?
I get my spray tan. I get painted orange.
Eats Taco Bell for breakfast.
Yep. He just goes, I go on Twitter, and then I forget I'm banned on Twitter, and then I watch Fox News, and I go back on Twitter, and I forget.
He's probably got a message board or something. He's got to have like a message board. We'll probably find Trump's message board.
I think he's just on the podcast tour. I think he's just hopping around podcasts.
Really? Is he doing podcasts?
I have no idea.
Get him on the show.
No.
Should do our show.
Yeah, let's get some more Word Room news here.
Let's get into
I got into a little bit.
News.
I got into a little bit of what I had. Not all of it. Actually, most of what I had. Monkeypox. Talk about that. Let's talk about a just completely crazy, backwards, crazy person. That's another person giving weed a bad name.
Weed?
Yep.
Marijuana?
Yeah.
I brought you some marijuana plants tonight.
You did. You bought me some plants. I'm going to put them on the deck tomorrow. Hopefully the squirrels don't fuck them up. But
I want half that yield, by the way.
Half the yield?
Whatever you yield, because I can't look after my own marijuana plants, so...
Why?
I'm just lazy.
Nature. Put it in the ground.
I know. I get it. But if you do it for me, I still want half the yield. I brought you those plants.
You'll get half of one.
No, I will get one full yield.
All right. Buy a plant of my choosing.
Okay, whatever. Can we name both of them?
Can we name? All right, we'll come up with them. What do you want to name them?
Belinda.
Belinda?
Bonnie Belinda.
Just an old lady bee name? Mm-hmm. Beatrice?
That's a Stomping Tom Connors song.
Okay.
Bonnie Belinda.
Bonnie Belinda. So one's Bonnie, one's Belinda.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Can't wait to smoke them.
Okay.
See you in a few months, Bonnie and Belinda.
Anyways, why are people giving weed a bad name again? We're legal now. It's good.
I know. But some people get too high and they do stupid things. Like, have you ever been this high? This man from India chopped off his own penis.
Start a podcast about how the world's coming to an end?
Yeah, that's normal. Everyone does that. But this man chopped off his own penis for the greater good after smoking marijuana.
Sometimes you have
Why
to.
do they have to make the headline like that?
Sometimes, is that the headline?
Yeah. So this deranged man from India, let's remember this. He is deranged whether he's
Why
on
is he
marijuana
deranged?
or not.
He's just a psychopath.
He's completely mentally insane.
Little cobwebs upstairs.
Yeah, according to his friends and family. People know him best.
he's a
and
nut.
that he should
This guy's
definitely
crazy.
keep away from the substances, but he enjoys the substances. And, he can't control himself.
Gets into the grass a bit.
Yeah. But he's also a religious fanatic, so that's why he chopped off his dick.
There's a lot there, so he's a little touched.
I would
say that.
Yeah, he's a psychotic mental person, mental patient. Should be locked away.
He gets into the grass a bit.
Likes smoking reefer. He likes drinking. He likes psychedelics.
And then what happened?
And then for the greater good, because he believed he was abusing the substances too hard, he wanted to follow his religion more, he chopped off his dick.
Himself.
Himself.
Well, you go into the kitchen, pull out a butcher's block, and
It didn't really say how he did it, but there must have been people around because they had quotes of things he was saying, right?
that's like the one thing. Like, I get nervous shaving my pubes because you don't want a razor near your dick.
Yeah. And this guy's just going full blown.
Chop the dick off.
I'm like, why they gotta drag marijuana into this?
It has nothing to do with marijuana. It's the fact that he's a little touched in the head.
Yeah.
He's a little mental, not right, not thinking straight, going through some shit.
I feel like every once in a while there's some news article where it's just like remember the guy who ate the naked dude who ate the homeless guy's face in Florida? Everyone's like, bath salts. But it wasn't. They came back and they're like, the only thing in his system was THC. It's like, okay.
Give weed a bad name.
Yeah, there's munchies and then there's that guy. But
he's munching on faces.
Yeah. I've never been so high in my life. There's only so many reasons to chop off your dick. And insanity is probably
Insanity is the number one.
But the fact that he was extremely religious mixed with the insanity, I feel like religion comes probably second.
But what religion is telling you to chop your cock off?
There's probably some out there. Wasn't one of the famous cults? Weren't they not mutilating people's genitals, but castrating them? It was one of the UFO ones. I don't know.
You would know more than I would.
There's too many. There's too many to remember.
Why though? Why would you
Yeah.
There's no reason to chop your cock off.
No.
There's no reason.
Unless you want to become a woman and you get a doctor to do it for you.
But then you feel like I totally transition surgery. You feel like you have to be a woman. That's cool. Do that. But
what if that was his reasoning? But he just did it himself.
But obviously that wasn't his reasoning. If he's just a psycho person that thinks he believes in aliens and he wants to chop his dick off.
I don't know if he believes in aliens. He believes in God for sure. And he thought he was being a real shithead. So he's saying, you know what? Here, take it. Take it. God's like, I don't want it. When did I tell you to do that?
Was it like a sacrifice? Was he I'm giving my cock to God?
I don't know. He just thought God was mad. I don't think he's happy about what he did.
I don't think he's happy at all. I think he's a terribly depressed man. You're right.
Yeah, so the man already regrets what he did.
He regretted it instantly, eh? I think you have to.
Maybe not instantly. You should probably just glow in it for a bit. If you really did believe it was a good thing. I'm sure it hurt like hell. Amazing he didn't bleed out.
I'm sure he did. I'm sure he bled out a bit.
Anyways, there should be more positive weed stories in the world. Not for the people.
Well, they blame that on weed, right? They're like, he was high and he chopped his cock off, but it has nothing to do with weed.
No. You know what? You know what else we need to talk about?
What?
UFOs.
We should.
UAPs.
We talk about them a lot.
That's right, and that's what we're supposed to be calling them now.
UAPs. What's that stand for?
Unidentified aerial phenomena.
Tom DeLonge.
So it could be a giant floating jellyfish or a flying saucer. It's a big phenomenon in the sky. So I think we talked about there's a public hearing that happened.
Last week.
Yep, Tuesday. I was sitting right here in my living room watching it live.
Well, I don't think we've talked since then, so bring me up to date. What went on in this public hearing about UFOs or UAPs?
Well,
Was Tom there?
Tom was not there.
Tommy wasn't there, eh?
There wasn't any notable characters of any sort. There was, it was mostly Congress.
I'm so sorry. Sorry.
But yeah, they need to do something. Yeah, it involved more public and people involved in the topic, because they had these like two like guys from the Defense Department basically representing the program that was running UFO research and were there to answer the questions, and they barely answered anything. The whole thing was basically, we don't know. We can't talk about it. We don't know. We'll talk about it in the private section later. We don't know. We don't know. It was something fast and unworldly, but we don't know. It was,
are these recent encounters that they're talking about, or are they are they just going over past events?
They don't. That's the thing. They didn't want to talk about anything. So this program they're talking about, ATIP, ran for, I think, 2003 and forward. So that's the only time period they're dealing with footage, which they have a lot of footage. Apparently they have at least 400 very credible, very, very wild videos, like, that we're not allowed to see yet, but
they have the video.
They have the videos. But so you think this public hearing, they're going to get a lot more answers? No. And like, if anyone has,
doesn't that happen every time there's a public hearing about this shit? Like, every time the UFO people are like, we're going to talk about it, and then they get together, they're like, well, yeah. But like, the big one came out like last year when they were like, we can say that UFOs do exist.
Yep.
And that was Tom.
Now,
that was old Tom DeLonge.
I think it was an effort to kind of continue to discredit the topic, even though we have taken it very seriously. The world's taking it more seriously now. Mm-hmm. But again, these two goofs running this thing, the only bit of footage that they showed was that green triangle, remember? Which right away they were like, oh, that's because of the... It's like night vision camera. There's like
these two.
It's triangulating, so like when it's out of focus, everything looks like a triangle. Every pinpoint of light will be a triangle shape. Right. So they basically came out showing this thing like, we figured it out, and it is definitely how these night scopes work. I'm like, we know that already. Why are you showing this as like the evidence? And then he shows another one. It's basically this jet fighter with a cell phone video, just like shaky, sitting in his cockpit. And then just goes real quick, and something just zips by the phone in like half a second.
A jet pilot pulled his phone out mid-flight to film out the window.
Yeah, because you could unclass. You're able to watch that video, because if it was anything from the internal cameras, right, they couldn't actually show that. But because this guy's just filming with his phone, this thing you see for half a second, and they're live doing this Congress. There's thousands of people watching. They're like, can you pull back a few frames so we can just freeze frame on this thing? They tried for 5 solid minutes to freeze frame on this.
But they can't get a freeze frame out of it?
People had to do it afterwards. But it's just one white dot. That's all you see. I'm like, this is the thing you're trying to show the public to prove that like something big's happening. It could have, like, when people say like, oh, it was probably a balloon. That one I'm like, that could have totally just been a balloon, and they just whipped past it real quick.
A seagull.
So I think it's a total effort to continue to discredit and just like make it seem like it's a nothing topic.
all like the big hearing last week in early May of 2022, you think it was just like another fucking decoy?
Not so much a decoy, just more effort to just ridicule the subject, make it seem like
it's insane that they came out in 2020, 2021, whatever, last year, when they came out and just said like, we will acknowledge that UFOs and UAPs exist. UAPs, I'm right?
Yep.
Yeah. The fact that they came out and said that we will acknowledge that they exist, and then the whole world was just like, that's fine, there's a pandemic. Yeah. And nobody freaked out.
I feel like common people don't know how to actually react.
They don't.
I think it's a mixture of ignorance and fear. It's either you're not looking into it at all,
or
you're
it's
seeing
acceptance. It's just early acceptance of like, yeah, I guess we know aliens exist, eh?
All right.
We're not the only ones, huh?
I don't see them.
They're not harming me.
Yeah.
They haven't came for my butt yet.
But there's people like me that it keeps me up all night thinking about it, and I can't
Yeah.
stop. I can't stop thinking about it. I feel like
And it's crazy to think that one man in a mediocre pop punk band brought this all for.
It's not just him.
I know, but
he's a shiny, happy face to put in front of it until
you think. What is your actual thoughts on Tom DeLonge? Is that he's a decoy himself?
Yeah, it's happened before. Disinformation agents go in there
because he's a celebrity.
Because he's a celebrity, he's a loudmouth. People are listening to him. So why not feed him a bunch of bullshit and discredit him later with it?
Give him a bunch of discredited information.
But it's
But I've listened to
waters.
him talk, and I've been a fan since I was a kid.
Yep.
And until they put out that self-titled album, then I was like, they sold out. But when they were like, Blink-182 was like, big pop punk band, they love the Descendants, they love Screeching Weasel, and I was like, hey, the Queers, like, I like that shit.
Mm-hmm.
As a kid, and then to find out that he's the guy to be like, aliens exist, and then he actually got to the Pentagon, he got to the fucking files. He got them released.
They let him see what they wanted him to see, for sure.
But you think only because he was a celebrity?
Yeah. Because they've done this to... He just happens to be a celebrity, but they've done this to UFOologists all throughout the ages. Once they start getting some traction, and UFOologists are starting to look into something that's like legit, and the government's like, all right, they're getting a little too close. Why don't you just show them everything and a bunch of bullshit, mix it all in.
Mix the bullshit with the reality.
And then you wouldn't even know. And this has been proven to happen. There's agents that have come out that are retired now saying, like, that was my job. I took these nuts up in helicopters, showed them fake hidden bases and stuff.
But there's also those fucking guys, those like pilots that have retired that have been like, I saw some shit.
Yeah. That's who you should be listening to. Like, these are the real deal. Like, people that are actually in the shit, people have been part of these programs. And, the one cool thing that did happen...
I won't believe it. We've talked about this before. I won't believe it until we see an alien on a podium who doesn't look like Alex Jones.
Why would they?
Because maybe they would shapeshift that way. Who's just saying, I'm an alien, I'm here from another planet, that's who I am. And it's telecast around the world.
That's how you're going to believe?
That's how I would believe, yeah.
I guess you got to see it to believe it. You got to meet him.
See it.
You want to meet him, I guess.
I want to meet him. I don't even have to meet him if they just put it on TV.
You could
Mars Attacks.
Here's the thing: you could be meeting them all the time. You wouldn't even know if they're abducting you, right? If they're doing it right, and they really erase your memory and just put you back in bed, they could be doing it to all of us, man.
Do you think Alex Jones is an alien?
Definitely not. I don't know. He's pretty primitive of a person.
You think he's definitely
Elon Musk? Maybe Elon Musk.
He's a robot.
Tesla.
Robot.
Robot. Nikola Tesla.
Robot.
He was part alien.
Robot.
Robot
more than alien.
You think more robot?
No, you're right, because he knew the future.
Yeah. Yeah, at least, if not aliens, the aliens were definitely beaming the ideas into Nikola Tesla.
Right. That's another thing, too.
That's what everyone says, right? Everyone believes that.
Alex Jones is a decoy.
Why do you keep bringing up Alex Jones?
I just want to get you going.
Why? I don't care about it. Let him do what he wants to do. He's been right, he's been wrong. Let's just stop paying attention to him for a while. It'll be good for the world.
Yeah, it's hard not to pay attention to. He's a big dummy.
But to finish off here about this whole congressional UFO hearing, it was a bunch of senators asking questions. They're trying to trip them up. The one guy, he's just like, how do you know it's not gas? Are we looking at a solid or a gas? And they're like, well, our sensors have picked up they are definitely solid objects. They're like, well, gases could be solid too. I'm like, this is the person wasting our time asking questions. But then this guy came out, I forget his name, And this guy did his homework. Mm-hmm. He knew his UFO shit. And he starts asking him like hardball questions, just like, do you know about the incident from like 1970 so and so when they shut down the nuclear facilities when a UFO was spotted? And like we cannot get into that information. That is not in our files. They just kept saying like we don't know anything about that case, even though it's like one of the biggest ones. And like even like major commanders that were involved have come out to say like this is a real event that happened. UFO showed up, shut down all the nukes at once, turned them back on again, like a display of power. Like look what we can do.
Like shut the nukes down.
And these two fucking dopes from the Defense Department was like, oh, well, we don't know. We've never seen this report before. It's like holy shit. Like they're not like all these different UFO programs in the United States have all been like, none of them are sharing anything. Right. They like try one for a few years and like nothing, shut her down. It's like, but they're not sharing files, or they might be.
But what's the point of shutting it down? It's just like we shut it down, then people won't look into it.
That's the thing. I think they're like passing it off to the next. They get so frustrated because the phenomena just keeps throwing them curveballs. Like they have no, like they probably have incredible footage, but they could still know very little about what's going on. Right. Or they can know way too much and be like, I don't want to deal with this. Move this to let's make a new department and hire some new people, and then they can take the files and they can take all this horrible truth that we know.
Yeah, but it's and even like all these files, it's like how much of those files are just hearsay, how much of them are bullshit, how much of them are real.
Well, here's another thing. There's a memo going around called the Wilson memo or something like that.
What's the Wilson memo?
It's basically a guy high up in the military talking about craft material, like a crashed UFO. Uh-huh. The technology was taken and given away to private organizations like Lockheed Martin and DARPA.
What's that?
Those are like major technology and weapons.
DARPA is the military.
They're like technological military organizations. They're making all the crazy new military
for
stuff.
Military. We all know, no matter what industry that you're in, the military has had it first. Even like camera equipment. Like you and I are into camera stuff. Like the military, the army had like a red camera before anyone had a red camera. Like.
Yeah, some of the best lenses, best cameras, right? Because they're using them for like satellites and on planes.
Any technology, the military gets it before the general public, years ahead.
Oh yeah,
yeah. So you're like, if there's alien technology, the first people that are going to get it is the military.
Yeah, and here's the thing: we don't know how far along. We don't even know if anyone's figured it out. But there's like a real memo going around, and this governor brought it up. And then sworn it into record, whatever that means. I'm not 100% sure.
Sworn it into record.
But they sworn it into record, so it's in typing. So I think it's so if they bring it up again, and maybe they can actually get the people involved in the memo to like come out and like have sworn testimony and talk about it. Well, because they're so close to proving that there's been crashed
like flying UFOs, saucers,
and that they've taken the crafts and tried to reverse the technology.
But why haven't we seen? Okay, if there's been crash flying saucers,
maybe we have seen some of it.
There's been crash flying saucers as far back as the 50s, right? Yeah. Roswell, 50s, crash flying saucers. How come we have not seen something that kind of identifies as or like looks like a flying saucer in our militaries?
There's
a war, but there's a war going on in the Ukraine right now. No one's seeing any flying saucers.
People are seeing UFOs in the Ukraine war.
But are they UFOs or are they Russian-operated flying saucers?
They don't know. So that's the thing. There are some military people saying, like, some of them out there are ours, and some of them out there are not ours. Like, otherworldly.
And when you say ours, you mean human
beings in military secret organizations. But that's all still hearsay. But it's all.
But you think they would like fucking showcase it? They would put it out. They'd be like, hey, here's
a new model.
Here's the American-made flying saucer. Like this is the fucking GMC flying saucer. This is the Ford brand flying saucer.
But this is like life-shattering, life-changing technology that can change everything in the world for the positive. Problem is, we're human beings. We're petty.
That is the problem.
They don't want technology like this to land in the hands of their adversaries, right? We're all still against each other.
So even if there was a Russian-made flying saucer, we would try to pass it off as an alien flying saucer?
Pretty much. The Russians, if they had it, they're not going to be flying it around. They're going to keep it a secret. Or if it is them flying around, they're going to call it aliens, right? Because they don't want their technology to be out.
Because that technology is so advanced. It's like nothing we've ever seen.
It would change everything. And, I understand why they would keep it a secret. Maybe they don't know how to deal with it yet. Maybe it's still they haven't figured anything out.
Don't keep it a secret, and then in 5 years, instead of buying a Tesla, everyone's buying a flying saucer.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Could be. I don't want to live in a world like that. People are terrible drivers.
Well, their flying saucer's going to fly themselves.
Now, from what I understand, a lot of the flying of the craft has to do with consciousness.
Basically, you control with your mind.
Yeah, you're basically linked up to the ship itself through a device, scans your brain, and you're able to just sit there and control everything that way.
Right.
From the book I read, Day After Roswell, it's about some guy in the high up military was given all the files to Roswell and was basically told, your department needs to reverse engineer what we have. And that's what he talked about. And things like transistors, which are an incredible invention for you don't have computers without transistors. I think I'm getting the word right. Something
like a transistor.
So that came out of nowhere. Same with
it moves energy, it moves power around. It takes power and it puts it to places. That's what a transistor radio does.
Yeah, basically. But there was pieces of computers essentially all kind of sprung out of nowhere.
Some of the fucking technology we have now, computers, Wi-Fi, internet, it doesn't make any goddamn sense.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Maybe this is alien technology. We
don't even know. It might be.
They're figuring it out little by little.
But why? Because the Russians stole it?
Someone stole it.
Sorry, I shouldn't play a place on it.
And there's theories out there that once a few of these were retrieved and crashed, they don't necessarily understand how they were knocked out of the sky, but then they realized they could knock them out of the sky. So they maybe dropping nuclear tests in certain places where they know there's a UFO hotspot.
Well, the UFOs always intercept nuclear.
They don't quite intercept them, but they're definitely attracted to the areas. But I don't know. There's hopefully the next public UFO hearing is a little less embarrassing. And
so nothing. You're saying you watched the UFO hearing last week and nothing. You learned nothing.
Learned nothing. There's the one governor who talked about some cool shit and swore the Wilson memo into record. Hopefully something comes of that. But you know what? People are pretty embarrassed by the whole thing. And
Tom DeLonge has a new movie coming out.
Tom DeLonge, are we promoting Tom DeLonge?
We're not promoting it. I'm just saying, if anything comes out of the UFO hearing last week,
yeah,
it kind of was coincidental that he started promoting his new movie the same week.
Good timing, Tom DeLonge. Good for you. Go see your B movie.
And I'm so sorry.
All right, this has been We're Doomed podcast, everyone. We're doomed.
We are doomed.
Thanks for watching.
Thanks for tuning in. Thank you to Decentral Comedy and the StreamX Comedy Festival and Tyler Morrison and Tim Morrison and everyone over at Decentral Comedy.
I never thought we'd be in the metaverse, Tyler.
I don't even know if we are. We're in some verse.
Are you in the metaverse? Are you watching us from the metaverse right now?
If you are, like and subscribe to We're Doomed on all social media platforms.
That's where you'll find us.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
We're doomed.
We're doomed.
We have been doomed. We will continue to be doomed.